Have you ever wondered how skilled Lawyer Jeffy was? Well, to determine the skills of Lawyer Jeffy, we must dive into the SML movie Jeffy the Lawyer. In the beginning of the video, when Junior and Joseph were fighting over who gets the last Oreo, when Jeffy appears in the playroom where they were fighting, Jeffy suggested that the two of them should split the cookie in half.
Well, in my opinion, why don't you guys cut it in half and then you each get a piece?
After which all three of them were shocked, and Cody suggested to Jeffy that he should become a lawyer.
Jeffy, you're a genius. You should be a lawyer.
Which does make sense considering that becoming a lawyer requires good problem-solving skills, and what Jeffy demonstrated was problem-solving skills, which is a good skill to have when becoming a lawyer. So then Cody follows up with his suggestion and tells Jeffy that he should take the bar exam to become a lawyer.
Yeah, you should take the bar exam and become a lawyer.
What's the bar exam?
It's a test that you take to become a lawyer, as previously implied.
After Jeffy runs off to the American Bar Association, where he will be taking his bar exam at. Once Jeffy made it there were 6 candy bars on the table for Jeffy to smell and be correctly identified in order for Jeffy to pass the bar exam to become a lawyer. And basically the purpose of this smelling thing is Brooklyn guy said,
because a lawyer needs to have a good sense of smell. Like, you have to be able to smell if somebody's guilty or not. Like, you smell out a rat, okay?
Then once Brooklyn guy started the bar exam for Jeffy, he somehow was able to correctly identify all 6 of the candy bars with ease.
Hershey's, Snickers, Twix, finger in my butt. Oh no, Butterfinger, Kit Kat. Whatchamacallit?
Well, okay, that's...
And now according to Brooklyn guy, Jeffy is now officially a lawyer. After Jeffy passes the bar exam, Jeffy runs to his dad and reveals that he is now a lawyer. And if you think that Jeffy passing the bar exam and becoming a lawyer is impressive enough, just keep in mind that Jeffy literally passed his bar exam in his first attempt without even studying, which takes an insane amount of skill to do that. After when Jeffy got the job as a lawyer, Jeffy made a commercial.
Been in a car accident? Someone suing you? Got a boo-boo? We'll call Babu Bop Bop and Babu. I don't get paid unless you do, so call us right now. Babu Bop Bop Babu. This message was approved by Jeffy. Babu Bop Bop Babu.
And according to Brooklyn guy, people have been blowing up Jeffy's phone after the commercial Jeffy made.
Well, people have actually been blowing up his phone all day. They saw that commercial he made.
Then sooner rather than later, Jeffy got his first case involving a health inspector trying to shut down Jackie Chu's Chinese restaurant to them serving cat and dogs to customers. And what the health inspector stated was that he witnessed them taking cats and dogs out of cages, cooking them, and then serving them as orange chicken.
I witnessed them taking cats and dogs out of cages, cooking them, and then serving them as orange chicken.
Then Jackie Chu admits that he does serve cat and dogs, but they are
delicious. I do serve cat and dog, but it's delicious.
But then Jeffy finds a way to defend Jackie Chu by asking this.
Yes, Your Honor. My client does serve cat and dog, but my question to you, have you ever tried it?
God, no.
After the judge's reaction to Jeffy's question, Jeffy follows up with an old saying of don't knock it till you try it, and after Jeffy insists for the judge to try the orange chicken before judging it. And then the judge agrees with Jeffy as he does make a good point about
don't knock it till you try it.
So then the judge ends up trying a piece of the orange chicken, and no surprise, the judge ends up loving it.
You make a good point. I've never tried it, so I guess I don't actually know what it tastes like. I suppose I can have one piece. Ugh. My God, this is the greatest thing I've ever eaten.
And during the time of the judge shoving food into his mouth, he declared that Jackie Chu is not guilty.
Mr. Chu, you are not guilty.
As well as that, during his eating spree, he also ends up firing the health inspector, and he was prohibited to inspect food.
Mr. Health Inspector, you are fired and no longer allowed to inspect food.
After Jeffy ends up winning the first case and brings in a crap ton of money to Marvin and Rose after the case. And what the first case demonstrates is Jeffy's exceptional skill as a lawyer. Next, Jeffy had his second case of Brooklyn guy who wants to file a restraining order against his brother Jonathan for trying to hook up with his wife. So then Brooklyn guy starts off with his reasoning of why he wants to file a restraining restraining order against his brother.
My brother Jonathan is a 30-year-old virgin who still lives with our mom, and he's always hitting on my wife and trying to bang her, so I just want to get a restraining order so he can't come near me or my wife.
And then, after Brooklyn Guy's reasoning for the restraining order, the judge asked Jonathan a question of Jonathan, is any of this true?
Jonathan, is any of this true?
Jonathan answered the question with,
Well, Brooklyn guy is just jealous because his wife thinks I'm a total hunk. She's always staring at me up and down, trying to get a glimpse of my meat whistle. Like, damn, lady, I'm a human too. I have feelings. I'm not just a piece of eye candy you get to suck on.
and right after Jonathan stops with his statement, which is probably a lie, and Jeffy adds onto Jonathan by saying this.
See, my client is a victim.
To make a claim that Jonathan is the victim and not Brooklyn Guy. So, in frustration, Brooklyn Guy replies to Jonathan by saying this.
Oh, Your Honor, Jonathan's lying. No woman is attracted to him.
After the judge hears him, he bangs his gavel and tells everyone to settle down. Then the judge asks Brooklyn Guy's wife if she feels endangered by Jonathan, and then in reply she states,
Well, he does say a lot of weird things.
and Brooklyn Guy adds on with,
Yes, Your Honor, she feels afraid.
which then puts Jonathan and Jeffy in a terrible situation as the judge was about to grant the restraining order until the judge asked if Jonathan's lawyer had to say anything about this case. Then the camera switches over to Jeffy where we see him picking his nose, and conveniently, Jeffy ended up saying booger 3 times, which ended up getting the tables turned between Brooklyn Guy and Jonathan. So now, unfortunately for Brooklyn Guy, his imaginary friend Booger appears, and you'll see how the tables have turned. Once Booger appears in the courtroom, he ends up annoying the out of Brooklyn Guy, and since Booger is an imaginary friend, which Brooklyn Guy can only see, it appears that Brooklyn Guy is talking to himself or someone non-existent. So then the judge is confused of who Brooklyn Guy is talking to, and he asks,
Guy, who are you talking to?
and in response, Brooklyn Guy says,
No one, Your Honor.
stating that he isn't talking to anyone. So then they keep talking to each other, and Booger ends up walking to the judge to mess with him, and in a more angrier tone, the judge asks,
Mr. Guy, who the hell are you talking to? Are there voices in your head talking to you?
Then Jeffy interferes and claims that Brooklyn Guy is clearly insane and that he isn't mentally stable and that he is making false claims of Jonathan stalking his wife.
Your Honor, Brooklyn guy is clearly insane. He's not mentally stable and he's making false claims of Jonathan stalking his wife.
And after more arguing between Booger, Brooklyn Guy, and a bit of the judge had enough and said,
I have heard enough! Mr. Guy, you are clearly mentally unwell, so I will not be granting your restraining order. I will, however, be admitting you to a mental health facility immediately.
What? No!
So after Jeffy ends up winning his second case, and again, he brings in a crap ton of money. Then Jeffy goes to his third case, where Judy wants a divorce from Tyrone due to cheating, and long story short, the solution Jeffy found to who gets the house and other stuff is that they should use a chainsaw to cut the house in half so they both get 50/50ths.
I think that you take a chainsaw, you cut the house in half, and everything they own in half, so it's 50-50.
And then the judge agrees, and Jeffy ends up settling the divorce. Next, Jeffy gets paid again, and Jeffy goes to his fourth case, where Goodman is being accused of running over a kid in his Lamborghini and driving away. And again, long story short, Jeffy somehow won the case and found Mr. Goodman not guilty. So, to conclude on how good lawyer Jeffy was able to win 3 cases and settle a divorce without even struggling one bit. If you enjoyed the video, consider liking the video and subscribing to my channel since every subscriber helps a ton. Stay safe and take care. Goodbye.